friendship could be. My little pony. Until you all shared its magic with me. Big adventure. Tons of fun. A beautiful heart, faithful and strong. Sharing kindness. It's an easy feat. And magic makes it all complete. You have mine. Did you know you're all my very best friends?
Hello, Alice in Wonderland reference.
I'm late for a very important date. Do I look alright?
Do I see Twilight's and Pinkie Pie's gala dresses? What's Fluttershy doing with them? So Princess Celestia is visiting Sugar Cube Corner and everyone is supposed to be there. Fluttershy is running late and Rainbow Dash decides to mess with the guards.
Ooh, you're good. Too good. I'm bored. Watch the dress! Careful! You're gonna spill that on me!
Speaking of gala dresses, Rarity is wearing hers, surprisingly. You'd think she'd save it.
Which is the salad and which is the appetizer again? And which am I supposed to eat first?
But naturally, everyone is falling all over themselves trying to impress Princess Celestia. Except for Pinkie Pie.
You gonna eat that?
But especially the cakes.
Empty teacup at 4 o'clock!
I see it, honey bun.
Oh, thank you. Gotcha.
Sunbutt is best princess.
I understand from Twilight Sparkle's letters that you enjoy tending to the needs of woodland creatures.
Anyway, she and Fluttershy start talking about how they both love animals, how important it is to take care of them. Meanwhile...
Nothing means more to me than the well-being of all my subjects. Ah, Philomena, my pet.
I am dying right now. Almost as much as this bird.
She is quite a sight, isn't she?
Unfortunately, Princess Celestia gets called away on royal business, so she graciously makes her exit.
But at least no big disasters happened.
When no one is looking, Fluttershy makes off with Philomena.
I'll nurse you back to health, as a favor to the princess who is obviously just far too busy to care for you properly.
Cue a horrifying sequence where Philomena's temperature goes back and forth between too hot and too cold. She refuses to take the medicine. That was very Roadrunner-ish. Refuses to eat soup. What kind of soup would you feed a bird anyway? And then nearly drowns in it. Throws up on Fluttershy.
Ointment?
Breaks out in hives. And constantly loses more feathers. So now it's time for Twilight to show up and find out what happened.
I had to do something.
Without telling any pony? Without asking permission?
But
Twilight decides to try to sneak her back before anyone notices. But then of course some of Celestia's guards show up and, too late.
The royal pet has gone missing.
Really? You guards better be on your way if you're gonna find the princess's missing pet. Thank you ever so much for keeping me in the loop. Bye!
Wow, how did they not immediately catch that something was up? Of course, now Twilight is afraid to return the bird because she fears the worst.
She might banish you from Equestria, or throw you in a dungeon! Or banish you and then throw you in a dungeon in the place that she banishes you to!
I suspect this is where the Tyrant Lestia meme originated. So now the plan is for Fluttershy to cure her, because that's worked so well up until this point, before returning her so that'll soften the blow. So Twilight makes sure that she takes her medicine.
Done. Okay, what else?
Keeps her from pulling out any more feathers.
There you go.
And that's about as far as it gets. Cue Benny Hill reference again as Philomena tries to evade them, as they try to evade the guards, etc. Eventually they all catch up with Philomena at the fountain, where she loses her last feather, falls, and bursts into flames. This episode is so messed up, I love it.
What is going on here?
So of course now Princess Celestia shows up and they have to tell her that her bird is freaking dead.
Oh, stop fooling around, Philomena.
Just kidding. Celestia neglected to mention that Philomena is a phoenix, so all that was supposed to happen.
She's quite a sight, as I said, but nothing unusual for a phoenix. Isn't that right, Philomena?
Philomena is best phoenix.
Say you're sorry, young lady. I do appreciate that your heart was in the right place, child. But all you had to do was ask me, and I could have told you Philomena was a phoenix.
True, but you also could have offered the information, if only so no one would be thinking you were a neglectful pet owner. But yeah, okay, kids need to ask before taking things, even if they think they're doing it for a good reason. Got it. I can't get over how much personality this phoenix has, especially with the lack of facial features. And so ends A Bird in the Hoof. There isn't a whole lot to say about this episode that I haven't already. Mainly, it's hilarious. Though I can't decide if it's funnier before or after you know what's going on. Before, it's really dark. First time I saw this, I was honestly shocked when Philomena burst into flames. I mean, I knew there had to be some twist that would somehow make it okay in the end. It is a kid's show after all, but I just didn't expect them to take it that far. It comes across as dark comedy, I guess. But it's also funny when watching it a second time and knowing Philomena is just screwing with Fluttershy the whole time. Speaking of which, I suspect that this is also where the Celestia meme started, since it could be said that Princess Celestia was behind all this. It is kind of funny that even the guards appear to not know that Philomena is a phoenix. Though I don't think that's really the case, I just think she messed up. Speaking of Philomena, I'm really surprised that, at least as of halfway through season 6, she has never shown up again, not even in the background or anything. With how this show loves to reference older episodes, that's really surprising. We do get to see other phoenixes later in the series, though. Gotta love their design, too. This show is really good at making minimalistic designs that look awesome. In any case, I love how messed up and gross this episode is. Like I said with Swarm of the Century, grossness isn't something you usually see in girls' cartoons, so it comes across as more jarring here than it would otherwise. Come to think of it, that one also involved a visit from Celestia. Next up is Cutie Mark Chronicles. See you then.
You're right. Okay, let's go.